Zio's here with KickAZ Gaming, and today I'm accompanied by the lovely
KickAZ.
Welcome back to the third episode of our weekly show. Today we're going to discuss the apocalypse. No, not the one with zombies, though there will probably be some there. And definitely not the one with the 100 million man army that marches on the world led by the beast. Today we're going to talk about Ashes of Creation Apocalypse. Stay tuned as we discuss all that was revealed concerning its release and what to expect going forward as it persists as a separate but vital part of the formula that Intrepid is using to perfect their highly anticipated MMORPG. Oh, but Zio, you say, we've been seeing videos pop up here and there showcasing footage of the Battle Royale. Heck, you've even posted some footage yourself. All of that's definitely true, but starting December 18th of this year, anyone and everyone will be able to jump right in and play the Battle Royale version for themselves. Well, what's in it for me? I mean, isn't the Battle Royale just an alpha test for the combat systems in the MMO? Why would I want to sully my good name and waste my precious time playing something that's, at best, a weak imitation of what's to come? Well, I'm glad you asked, skeptical internet man. This Battle Royale is far more than just Alpha 1 Phase 1. In fact, they literally rebranded it Ashes of Creation Apocalypse for that very reason. This game, it is officially its own thing, will persist alongside Ashes of Creation as a permanent title in Intrepid's catalog. To answer why you should play it, the answer is twofold. First of all, we all know Battle Royales are a lot of fun, and honestly, being able to play one that's set in the backdrop of the MMO is pretty sweet. Secondly, the account that you make for Ashes of Creation Apocalypse is directly connected to the account that you'll use when the MMO is released, and all the rewards that you earn from the Battle Royale will transfer to your account in the MMO. We'll talk more about rewards later though. Ashes of Creation Apocalypse and the MMO will continue to evolve alongside each other, and each will be used to test new and exciting ideas that will complement the other. It's not entirely new thinking, and while this isn't a great example, having both should ideally provide a positive impact for both IPs. Similarly to the way that Supercell has improved their quality and strength of their brand by utilizing data and assets from each of the Clash titles, there are thousands, if not millions of people who would never set foot in Ashes of Creation's MMO, and likewise, just as many who would not consider taking part in the Battle Royale. However, by uniting the two games with a common story, world, assets, and transferable rewards, Intrepid is potentially tapping into the golden goose that mobile games currently have on lock. The system's a win-win for Intrepid and players alike. From Intrepid's point of view, they're going to be able to more evenly distribute the number of cosmetics available in the cash shop and encourage players to take part in both titles by offering rewards that can be earned in each game and still used in the other, thus drawing players into both, including some like me, who wouldn't jump into the Battle Royale otherwise. Now we all know that we're going to get some videos from the angry YouTube man at some point, talking about how Ashes of Creation is pay to win, and they're money hungry, or whatever else they could use to throw dirt. But the truth is, we want them to turn a very nice profit. It's unlikely that you're watching this video unless you're already at least partially invested either financially or emotionally into the possibility of what Ashes of Creation's MMO has the potential to bring to the table. With that said, the very best way for the game to succeed is for Intrepid to grow into something more than just a Kickstarter supported venture that may be cool for a while but eventually fade off into the dust. We want Ashes of Creation to become a phenomenon. Whether or not the magic of MMOs can be replicated in the same way as they were in the early days of WoW and even in games prior to it isn't the right question. The correct question is it possible to create something new that uses the technology and benefits afforded to us today to create an entirely new type of magic that doesn't necessarily feel nostalgic to us, but re-enraptures us into the wonder of what exploring a new world can be in such a way that it feels untouched and uncharted? Is it better to face some bumps in the road discovering something that those who are where we were in the days gone by will, once they reach our age, look back with the same nostalgia that we do with our favorite titles now? And while we all hope Ashes of Creation will be the absolute greatest MMO ever made, isn't it also important that Intrepid secures their place in the genre and the industry so that they can help maintain the genre that we all love, especially considering so many other companies are turning away from it in favor of other genres and mobile games. Diablo. As far as players are concerned, we all have experienced the lull that's associated with content drought. Even Final Fantasy XIV, which has a great content release schedule in my opinion, suffers from the drag that the development time creates throughout the expansion or patch cycle. Having another game, even if it isn't the format you necessarily enjoy most, that directly impacts your swag in the game you do enjoy, with cosmetic rewards, free or otherwise, is pretty freaking cool. It's no accident that games like Fortnite are so popular. There's a huge fan base that enjoy the Battle Royale type game, and the pendulum swings both ways. Even if a fraction of the people who would never touch the MMO on its own are swayed to do so because they enjoyed the Battle Royale, then that's a win for the MMO community as well. More players means the game is and appears more healthy. It leads to more interesting castle sieges and world PvP. It leads to more people available to run in-game dungeons and raids with. It also means that the developers can use the Battle Royale to test new and exciting things out before they hit the MMO and get the feedback they need to improve what the final version will be when we see it in the Ashes of Creation MMO. And of course we hope that it'll be even better balanced when it arrives, because of the time that it was tested in the Battle Royale and Castle Sieges in Horde mode. So what's coming? Ashes of Creation Apocalypse will be broken into 3 stages. Steven emphasized that there will be value in that there will be a lore associated with the release of each section via playable quests with the adventure pack. The breakdown is as follows. Part 1 will be the Battle Royale, exactly as we've seen it up to this point, but accessible to anyone who wants to play, and of course internally they've been tweaking and testing and improving the systems leading up to this point. There'll be a legendary pack that you can purchase for each chapter, and in each chapter there will be additional unlocks available in the form of cosmetic items that you can earn during the 10 weeks that each is available. I'll go into more detail about this in just a minute. They did not give an exact number of items that will be available for each of the chapters, but they did mention that there should be around 70 total cosmetic items ranging from mounts to weapon skins, armor, and more that will be available, and all of these will be transferable to your MMO account when it's live. Part 2 will be the castle sieges. From what we saw in the video a while ago, it looks like crazy fun, and I'm excited to get to experience it for myself. Considering the sieges will also take place in the MMO, I'm glad we'll have the chance to experience them in a setting like this, where it doesn't impact your actual in-game structures as it will in the MMO. I could see this feature being used as a potential training ground for serious guilds, and that could lead to some pretty amazing consequences for the MMO on both sides of the coin. How amazing would it be, and potentially disheartening, if there ended up being a player-created faction that didn't focus on castles and cities or building anything, but strictly existed to wreak havoc on those that do, and vice versa, serious guilds that specialized in hunting them down and protecting their fortresses using real-life tactics and strategies. I'm not sure if the technology that they're using will be able to produce battles to that degree, especially initially. If the data they gather from the Apocalypse version leads to the implementation of such things, I will revel in it, and it could truly be one of the greatest features of the game. Part 3 is the Horde mode. Horde mode, for those who are unfamiliar, is basically a survival of the fittest style game. You and X number of players will occupy a certain location, and waves of monsters will attack over and over again. Your job is to work together to fend them off for as long as you can to save your city. Now with that said, I'm not sure if it'll be possible to actually save your city, since they mentioned that lore-wise, these are the last of the remaining citizens of Vera who found themselves trying to survive with no portals left and no way out. Regardless, it'll undoubtedly be a lot of fun. And there is a monster coin feature where you can use the coins purchased from the shop, which may be obtainable other ways, who knows, to queue in as a boss monster and defeat as many players as possible before they take you down. I will 100% take advantage of that option occasionally, and I'm sure it's going to be pretty sweet to wreck people as a monster and be able to use the abilities of the monster that otherwise would likely not be accessible to any class in the MMO. Intrepid's very serious about having a great and very smooth launch. They're intending for Apocalypse to act as a huge server stress test throughout the development cycle to prepare for Ashes of Creation's MMO launch day. I mentioned earlier I'd talk more about the rewards, and in terms of rewards from the Battle Royale and the other chapters, there will be an adventuring pack that gives weekly and daily quests. They'll allow you to level up to level 50 in Apocalypse. As you level throughout the process, you'll unlock different cosmetic rewards, including weapon skins, armor skins, mounts, pets, etc. These rewards are not the same as the cash store rewards, and they will be on top of whatever is available in the cash shop as purchasable cosmetics. Each season is a chapter, and Chapter 1 is titled The Exodus. Unique rewards will be available each chapter and will last roughly 10 weeks, or at least between 8 and 12, Steven said. He also mentioned that some of the rewards may be as big a deal as potential legendary level items in the MMO that you wouldn't be looking at obtaining until very far into the end game. But because you played the Battle Royale in this introductory phase, you'll have access to it sooner than those who did not. In my opinion, the weapons and armor they showcased look pretty sweet. I'm sure the assets will continue to evolve into something even more detailed and desirable over time, but even in this early phase, they look very nice, and it's nice to see that the team has a good hold on what makes aesthetics desirable to players. There will also be a legendary pack, which Steven said should be $10 a season, and will allow you to unlock the full array of available cosmetics for each season. If you're an Alpha 1 backer, you get the legendary packs for free forever, and Alpha 2 backers and everyone else who bought pre-order packs will get Season 1 for free. Near the end of the announcement, they advised that there will be another live stream next week, which will be all about their continued production on the MMO and include a game developer playthrough showcasing questing, monster battles, raid bosses, and the most recent progress made in the MMO's development. Whenever these live streams happen, it's worth taking part in their Discord for the Q&A section, as they often select live questions to answer. If you have the next best burning question, make sure you're there to ask it. One of the questions I found interesting was concerning the availability of the skins earned and how we'd be able to use them in the MMO. Steven was quick to explain that, as I stated earlier, not all the rewards will be immediately available, and some may never be usable depending on how you play the game. For example, he mentioned that mounts have different grades. You'll get your very first mount around level 5, and it'll be a ground mount. And so, rightfully so, you're not going to be able to place any of the legendary skins or flying mount skins on that mount. While he didn't go to the restrictions and armor or weapon skins, when he mentioned that there were tiers, levels, and grades, that you likely aren't going to be able to just reskin every low-level piece of armor that you get with a skin that would be uncharacteristically awesome for your status in the world at that point. Though, to be fair, that's just my speculation. As far as progression on their work in the MMO is concerned, they did mention that the world map is almost complete, and soon thereafter, we'll be able to see Node Level 3. As I'm sure many of you have noticed from the footage, Apocalypse's systems are 100% pure action-based combat. This is in contrast to the MMO, which will present a hybrid action and tab targeting system. So while there's value in playing Apocalypse from the cosmetic perspective, plus it looks like a lot of fun, it is not a full representation of how those systems will play out once they're in the MMO. They also mentioned there's a currency called Embers, which backers and those that pre-ordered packs received, and they can be used to purchase cash shop items and also now legendary packs for Apocalypse. He also mentioned that Embers will be obtainable as rewards throughout Apocalypse, even if you only opt to play the free adventure pack version, which is really cool. Because there were so many questions that I saw concerning this topic, I want to clarify one last time that just because you obtain a cosmetic in Apocalypse does not guarantee that you're going to be able to use it in the Ashes of Creation MMO. For example, if you obtain the skin for a flying mount, you still have to be able to use a flying mount in the Ashes of Creation MMO to be able to equip it. As we all know, only mayors and kings and queens are able to use flying mounts, at least initially. So it doesn't take away from achieving that status just because others have the skin. They're not going to be able to use it unless or until they themselves become either a mayor or a king or queen. Likewise, certain pieces of armor or weapons may possess unlock requirements as well, so having the cosmetic does not equate to being able to immediately or potentially ever, depending on the requirement, utilize something that would otherwise take a lot of effort in the MMO. Alright, well I hope you assholes enjoyed this. Be sure to comment below if you enjoyed the video, or if you hated it. Punch me in the face with the like button and subscribe, and if you're extra salty that I dared to tread on your feelings on a whim, prove it to everyone and wipe your tears with the dislike button, and subscribe anyway so that I can feed on your bitterness next time. I'm Zia with KickAZ Gaming, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you very soon. Bye. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Banana.
Banana who?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Banana.
Banana who?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange who?
Oh, together they didn't say banana.